Good morning. A mantra from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, right in the beginning of the teachings. It is a classical verse and affected me powerfully when I first got in contact with it through Guru, of course. We'll see what it can do. First is chanting, because Gita means song. We chant all the verses, all the mantras anyway, but double reason to begin with chanting. Gita is the song, Bhagavad of the Lord, the song of Bhagavan, which becomes Bhagavad. Let us see. Om Najayate Mriyate va kadachin, Najayate Mriyate va kadachin, Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, Ajo nitya Shashvatoyam Purano, Ajo nitya Shashvatoyam Purano, Nahanyate hanyamane sharire, Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. I will show again. Najayate mriyate va kadachin, Najayate mriyate va kadachin, Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, Ajo nitya Shashvatoyam Purano, Ajo nitya Shashvatoyam Purano, Nahanyate hanyamane sharire, Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. And together. Najayate mriyate va kadachin, Nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano, Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. This is ancient Sanskrit originally from Katha Upanishad, but not exactly. The first two lines have some differences. There it is Najayate mriyate vavi paschid, Nayam kutaschid napabhuva kaschid. So the second line is different more. These are the same, so it's developed. Gita incorporated it. Najayate. That means not. Na is always not, N-O-T. Jayate is born. There's a root. All verbs, actually nouns, do have a root, which never appears by itself, but you can find it inside the construct of a word. Words that are used in a sentence, like here, they have endings. Endings at the end that can change depending on circumstance. But the jaya comes from jan, to be born. It is very similar to Latin, generate, and to be born also it can mean janayati, to generate. So here it is born. It is not born. I say it while we don't know, is it a he or a she or an it, or none of them. Mriyate. Mriyate is the opposite, it dies. Na. The na goes with both. It is neither born nor does it die. Mriyate. Mriya and mar, they change into each other, and then it becomes again like Latin mortal. So mriyate does not die. Va, or neither nor. Va is or. Kadachin, ever. It is about, let us say, it is about the Atman, the soul, the self, the spirit in us, which is neither born nor does it ever die. Ever, never born, never dies. These are the basic teachings, as I said, right in the beginning of Gita, towards the beginning of this second chapter. Second chapter is the first chapter of the teachings. First chapter gives the background, how these teachings became necessary and how it came about. Lord Shri Krishna is the teacher, Arjuna the warrior who needs instruction how to fight the battle of life. So he gets, and this is basic. First of all, if you feel you are the body, then you have to die. But you're not the body, you're the one living in the body. So what about that? It never is born even, and never dies. Whatever is born must die. Whatever is not born cannot die. Does that make sense? Na ayam. Na ayam became na ayam, not this. Again, it refers to the Atman, the soul, the spirit. This one is not, again, bhutva, having existed. After existing once, and then it doesn't, that's understood. And then again, bhavita, future, will be again, va. None of that happens. Na bhuya. Bhuya is again. In English, you cannot do this literally. It is something like having existed in the past, then stopped, ceasing to exist, then again born in the future. It is not. Na. Na, na, not. So you can say things in the way of denying what you think. Never born, never dies. Not having existed, and again will be, and then again not, and then we imagine sometimes, okay, so they say the soul is born and reborn again, and what in between, what happens? No, it is aja, because it is ajo, aja, same thing, unborn, it is nitya, eternal. Nitya means eternal, no beginning, no end, always present. Somebody has to tell us, because how would we know? We find ourselves embodied in a particular body. Everybody is different. The body also changes, but basically we're stuck in it, so to speak, except through meditation, through our own effort, and then the grace of the divine, the supreme. We realize this, but through the teachings, Guru has to teach. Krishna is the world Guru, Jagat Guru, the teacher of the Gita. So, Nitya, eternal, he's telling. Our Guru is telling. I like it. I like to be eternal. Never mind the body, but I like to be in my spirit form, yes. Shashvata, constant, never interrupted. Also translated as everlasting, eternal. Both are similar. I am this self, this Atman, this spirit. I am, we call it. Purano is Purana, ancient, ancient. When they say ancient, they mean ancient. Not a few hundred or 1,000 years, but what about before the beginning of the universe? Was the soul around? Yes, according to this. Universes come and go. Spirit is unchangeable. Shashvata also implies unchangeability, eternity. Universes can come and go. As long as our journey is not finished, we continue. So that's what it says. Therefore, na, again another na hanyate. Han is to kill. Hanyate is a passive form. It is not killed. Your soul is not killed. The self is not killed. Hanyamane sharire. Sharire is the body. And this is related, hanyate, hanyamane, you can tell. Even while the body is being killed. The soul, the spirit, is not killed, cannot be, as it said already. It's a comfort. It's a comfort to know that this is the gist of all the teachings. There must be something to it. If we don't feel it yet, we have to meditate, and then you cannot appreciate it unless you have felt it while you're in the body, while you're alive. It won't just happen at the end. It may, but why not meditate beyond the body and mind while you're in good health and good strength and good hopes? Because they all say, they means those that have experienced this, the authors of what we call the scriptures, but they're really revelations, revealed knowledge, those that have experienced it. They all say, and that's what we study here, we like that you have to practice while you're alive and well. Don't wait too long, old age will come, for sure. You don't want premature senility, whatever you call that. So you want to meditate now to feel that. Then you can be assured at the end of life, when you feel that is coming up, you already know you cannot die and you're okay. Otherwise you're not okay. So we need to integrate this. It is beautiful poetry besides being deep mystical truth and experience. And that last sentence is so compelling to me anyway. It is not killed even while the body is killed, being killed. Who says? Sri Krishna says, Guru says, everybody, all the enlightened ones say. That's what we study. Because it is unborn, therefore undying, eternal, everlasting, ancient. It doesn't have a gap in it. Na ayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuya. So we went backwards, coming to the same statement. Na jayate, it is never born. Na mriyate, never dies. So that's the beginning of the teachings. You can draw your own conclusions, lots of conclusions for our life. What helps us to feel it, and what is disturbing? What activities, what habits, what associations, are helpful for our real meditation and experiencing our immortal soul, and what is not helpful, what is useless distraction or even deterioration of energy and health. So you have to, that is our job to find that out. And in your 24 hours, you have to accommodate some meditation, some study, some practice, some breathing practice, yoga, everything. All the yogas, let us chant it again. This is a yoga also. Om na jayate mriyate va kadachin na yam bhutva bhavitava na bhuya ajanitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. They're literally infinitely many possible melodies. The rhythm is given by the very syllables and words, long vowels, short vowels like that, heavy syllables, light syllables. You can, repeat and break it up and modify in that way, but you cannot basically change that proportion of the rhythm. But melodies are according to mood. Our guru was famous for hardly ever twice the same when he taught, when he chanted. So it comes, let us see something else. Om na jayate mriyate va kadachin na jayate mriyate va kadachin na yam bhutva bhavitava na bhuya na yam bhutva bhavitava na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato yam purano ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire na hanyate hanyamane sharire na jayate mriyate va kadachin na jayate mriyate va kadachin na yam bhutva bhavitava na bhuya na yam bhutva bhavitava na bhuya ajo nitya shashvato yam purano ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire na hanyate hanyamane sharire na jayate, it is not born, mriyate va kadachin, nor does it ever die. It being the soul, it doesn't have to be said in every verse, that is your total context, the Atman. Nor does it happen that once it existed, then not, then again in future it is reborn. No, it is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and ancient. And it is not killed while the body is killed. And this is one strong statement. What about anything less than being killed? It also is not affected by anything that affects the body or the mind that is identified with the body. This is the teachings too. It's full of that, heat and cold and pain and pleasure and happiness and unhappiness. They all happen to the body and mind, no doubt about it. And we are that. That is us too. But our higher form, inner form, is unaffected. If it can be unaffected by birth and death of the body, it will have to be possible to practice, go slowly. Tolerate. One mantra in this vicinity of this one is, you have to tolerate, like the elements, in the middle of winter, to be so unhappy that it's cold, and to wish, can it be 70 degrees, It's kind of pointless just to get warm clothes. Heat. That's an example of, not being tolerant or the impossible. We have to practice to tolerate the changes in order to be strong enough to tolerate big changes. The big changes coming for everybody when we leave this body and go on to hopefully higher. That's the teachings. The very beginning, before this even was, everybody's been around forever and will be until the journey is over. To me, that's kind of easier to think than that this is the only chance we have. If you don't have those teachings, what do you substitute it with? This is the only life we have. What an injustice. Some babies are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Isn't that a proverb? Some babies are born with no spoon at all. What about that? So it seems very unjust. It's solved by understanding these teachings, that we all are on a journey and we don't know the whole story. So let's not judge, lest you be judged also, because nobody here is perfect, everybody is evolving. We want to evolve higher. These teachings are for the purpose not to put you down there, to show you your infinite possibility and what's meant to be, to experience in this lifetime. Yeah? We're always procrastinating. Here we are again. But one of these lifetimes we have to get it, fully. And you get it by training your thinking. Think in that way. Think in that direction. Because the only way to find out if we are eternal or not is to go into meditation and test it. How to meditate, Yoga Sutras tells you, Gita also tells you, all these teachings of Yoga, Vedanta, their purpose is enlightenment through meditation. And religions originally have the same idea, but it needs adding something like this. Chant once more. Om Najayate Mriyate Vakadachin Nayam Bhutva Bhavitava Nabhuya Ajonitya Shashvatoyam Purano Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.